Tonight's story is not just about South America. This is about great powers throwing punches right in America's backyard. Hello and welcome to Times XP. I am Dhruti and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Venezuela and the US, they are inching closer towards a direct fight, and all of a sudden, Russia has jumped straight into the middle of it. A Russian military cargo plane, the same type used earlier by Wagner mercenaries, landed in Caracas. The message was loud, by the way. Moscow is here to protect the president, Mr. Nicolás Maduro. Washington is furious because the US has already placed 10,000 troops, warships, fighter jets, and even a carrier strike group around the Caribbean. Now, officially, if we see it, the US is saying that this is part of an anti-drug operation, right? But here, critics are asking that, is this really about drugs, or is this the beginning of a modern regime change attempt? Like Iraq in 2003, like Libya in 2011. Well, President Trump is acting like a man preparing for war. He even gave the CIA permission to run covert operation inside Venezuela. Now here, routers say that the US military personnel, they were ordered to sign an NDAs, meaning that they cannot speak about what they are doing. This is extremely unusual. That level of secrecy is usually seen when a government is preparing for a major operation. And here comes Russia, calling America's bluff. Putin is already fighting a draining war in Ukraine, right? But he wants US pressure to be split and scattered. So he opens a new headache for Washington in Latin America. Why is Venezuela so important to the world right now? It is important because Venezuela is not just oil rich. It sits next to the Panama Canal, one of the most critical shipping lanes on the planet Earth. And China is watching every single step here. China buys huge amount of Venezuelan oil. Beijing does not want Washington controlling this entire region. Basically, this is a chessboard. US pressure on Venezuela is pushing Caracas closer to Moscow and Beijing. And now shell companies, Russian advisors, Wagner-linked forces, they all are reportedly helping Venezuela build up defensive strength just to prevent a US-led operation. Now, inside Venezuela, people are very scared because when these big powers, they fight, the blood is spilled by ordinary citizens. Latin America neighborhoods like Colombia, they are also very angry. US strikes in the region have killed Colombian nationals as well, and Colombia is demanding answers. Mexico is warning Washington that international law is being broken. Smaller island nations like Trinidad and Tobago, they fear that their economies could collapse if this war actually erupts in their water. So this crisis is no longer just a US versus Maduro story. This is now a triangle of power. Trump in Washington, Maduro in Caracas, Putin in Moscow, and China quietly backing from the shadows. If anybody of them makes a mistake, Latin America could become the next battlefield of the new Cold War.